Yo, hey there. The room is looking a little bit different, a little bit of renovation going on here, but anyways, a couple of months ago, it was the hottest time of the year in the good old northern hemisphere, and even though it's been done and over with for a while now, let's take a look back at the concept of summer vacation. After being cooped up in school for 9 months, children are encouraged to spend their summer vacation wisely. You don't want to waste your precious time playing video games, watching movies, listening to music, collecting amiibo, or any other stupid thing like that. What you should be doing is studying, and reading, and not have fun. But one of the biggest things is to go outside in the heat and play some sports. Now, I'm not a huge sports guy, but I can still get some enjoyment from watching them. I grew up in a National Football League family, so for as long as I can remember, I've been watching American football. I do enjoy sports to an extent, but I'm not like, touchdown! 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 I have my favorite teams in sports, and I like to see them win, but I'm not going to be depressed for the rest of the week if they lose. To actually play sports, I enjoy that a lot, but it has to be laid back. Playing sports with someone who is an absolute nerd and practically has the rulebook as a PDF file in their brain is never fun. I always enjoyed playing football, obviously. Basketball is another one that's close to me. I love bowling, and I love volleyball and badminton, especially because it seems like most parties or get-togethers I went to had us playing those sports. Now, how did I come to enjoy sports as I do now? Well, it was not from spending my summer vacation wisely, it was from playing video games, and one sports game specifically, Wii Sports. Okay, so Wii Sports I don't think needs a huge in-depth introduction. I'm sure everyone who knows what video games are knows about Wii Sports. It was released as the pack-in launch title for the Nintendo Wii, and since the Wii sold really well, Wii Sports did too. People who don't even like sports at all still get enjoyment from the game. I never had anyone tell me that they didn't enjoy Wii Sports, and hey, if you don't enjoy the game, that's fine, because I know that you're not real. You're either lying or you simply just don't exist. If you genuinely dislike Wii Sports, you're not a real human. You're not even from Earth. I'm sorry, but it's true. The game, as mentioned earlier, was a pack-in title for the Wii in regions outside of Japan, so it was released on November 19th, 2006 in North America, December 2nd, 2006 in Japan, December 7th, 2006 for Australia, and a day later in Europe on December 8th, 2006. The game was praised for being a simple game that demonstrated to the world how powerful the Wiimote really is. It also received some negative reception saying the games are too simple and that you shouldn't buy it if it wasn't bundled with the console. Well, I guess here's the part where we get into the game now. This is Wii Sports for the Nintendo Wii. I'm home, back in my peaceful sanctuary that is Wii Sports. Remember, this was the Wii's first game, so it had to have a good first impression on players. Now, I can't think of a better first impression than this title screen. It's simple, interesting, and it's got that amazing title theme we all know and love. Okay, here we are in the main menu, and as you can see, we have a variety of sports to choose from. We have tennis, baseball, bowling, golf, and boxing. I guess we'll just go down the list. Starting off, we have tennis. Wii Sports Tennis is great, and it's because it's so simple, you just rally the ball back and forth. You can serve, and if you time your serve just right, your Mii will be able to unleash a fraction of his or her ultimate divine power. Again, this is a much simpler version of tennis, so how exactly does Nintendo simplify it? I can't move! Yeah, unlike other games like Mario Tennis where you can move freely all around the court, in Wii Sports you automatically move towards the ball, which is somewhat annoying. Sometimes when I miss the ball, I get the feeling that I could have hit it if I could move freely, but it still works. I think it works pretty alright. Also, one thing I find funny about tennis is that during gameplay there's absolutely no music, none at all. The only things you hear are the empty sounds and echoes of the rackets and the ball. $15.40. But overall, Wii Sports Tennis is a good experience all around. I like it. Next up is baseball, and I suck at this one. As a kid I used to be pretty good, but apparently I lost my touch. Baseball in real life requires fast-paced movements where you have small time windows to hit the ball, you have to run to the next base, and probably a lot of other stuff that I'm not aware of because I pretty much know nothing about baseball. However, like most of the games in Wii Sports, it's one of my favorite words to use when talking about Wii games, and especially Wii minigame collections. It's simple. Everything is simplified, from batting, pitching, running the game just does for you automatically, so you're guaranteed to land on a base if you get a single or more. The reason I'm bad at baseball now is just the timing to hit the ball. Apparently my Wii Sports depth perception isn't all that great, so I just end up swinging way earlier than I should. But yeah, overall, Wii Sports Baseball, even though I'm not that good at it, is enjoyable. It's very simple, maybe a bit too simple for some people, but yeah, it's a good time. Bowling. This is my game. Wii Sports Bowling is one of the most fun, yet one of the most serene and calming sports in the collection. I'd say it's probably also the most realistic. The reason why bowling works so well is because it's already a very simple game to begin with. You just roll the big heavy ball down the lane. That's it. Another thing I like about the game is that you can see random Mii's bowl alongside you, and you can see them just hanging out behind you too. Also, the bowling theme, even though it's quiet when you're actually playing, is legitimately one of my favorite songs in gaming. It's so calming with the acoustic guitar and that solid beat, it's wonderful. That's pretty much all I have to say about bowling. It's really good. It is pretty easy though once you get a system down, but overall, it's fun. Golf. I'm gonna be honest, as a kid I didn't really like Wii Sports Golf that much. It was much harder than bowling and it wasn't as action-packed as something like baseball. But now that I've matured, golf is probably my favorite sport in Wii Sports. It's crazy because golf is the sport that I have the least experience and interest in. I played pretty basic tennis when I was a kid, which was just me and my brother hitting a tennis ball back and forth in the front yard, which is the reason I say basic. I've played a bit of baseball with my family here and there. I love bowling in real life, especially with friends, and I've never done any boxing in real life, but I mean I've hit a punching bag before and I know a good amount of boxing terminology. But golf? Besides mini golf or Mario Golf, I've never done any golfing whatsoever, and yet, golf is my favorite sport in Wii Sports. Anyways, golf is very relaxing, but it takes a lot of planning and calculation if you want that perfect shot. Another awesome thing about golf is that there's multiple courses you can play on. There's 3 beginner, 3 intermediate, and 3 expert holes, or you can play all 9 in one long golf adventure. While golfing, you also have the ability to change the club you're using. It automatically picks the best one for you depending on your situation, but there's no harm in goofing off sometimes. You also have to keep track of the wind reader up at the top. The wind can strongly affect your shot, so you gotta keep an eye out. Anyway, yeah, that's golf, a very chill sport in the collection. I like it a lot. Okay, the 5th and final sport in Wii Sports, boxing. I like Wii Sports boxing, the dim stadium with the bright ring, the announcer, all the Mii's cheering you on, but there's one thing that ruins it for me. You! The nunchuck. I understand why it exists, however I don't understand how the world's worst motion control capabilities come from this tiny little dumb nugget. Maybe I'm punching too hard or maybe I'm punching too soft, I don't know. What I do know is that flicking the Wiimote and nunchuck down works a lot better than punching forward, and even then it still doesn't work that great. Maybe my controllers aren't doing as well as they used to, and like I said, maybe my technique is off, but I can't figure it out. When it does work though, boxing can be quite fun. It's cool that you can lean forwards, backwards, and side to side, and you can pick your fists up to guard either your face or your gut. You can throw little jabs here and there, but mostly what you'll be doing is the more powerful hits like crosses, hooks, and uppercuts. When you get knocked out, the announcer starts counting to 10. I think it's funny because a lot of people, including me, thought that shaking the Wiimote and nunchuck would make your Mii get up faster, being a nod to Nintendo's boxing franchise Punch-Out, where you press all the buttons to make Little Mac get up faster. However, it seems that with a little research here and there, the internet is kinda torn on whether shaking the controllers actually does anything or not. I'm not sure if anyone has tested this out somehow, but even if it doesn't do anything, shaking the controllers like a psycho is still fun. Okay, that was boxing. Like I said, I do like it, but the controls just do not work for me that well. Skill issue or not, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, it's good, but the controls make it a little infuriating to play. Alrighty then, that's all 5 sports in Wii Sports. However, there's 2 other modes that we can look at. We're gonna go ahead and look at training. The training mode provides minigames so you can learn to improve your skills. Now there's a good amount of these, so I'm gonna go over them all rather quickly. Ready? Let's go. With tennis, we have returning balls. The Mii over there serves the balls and you have to return them. Not much to say here. Timing your swing. Very similar to returning balls, but this one adds a little bit of a challenge. Here you have to get the tennis balls into this orange frame that constantly moves around and changes in size. If the racket is in your right hand, you have to hit it early to make it go left, and later to make it go right, and the other way around for the left hand. Pretty similar to the last one, but it adds a little spice. Target practice. Same premise as timing your swing, but you have to break targets that are pretty close to you. This one is pretty tough, at least for me. Since the wall is a lot closer, the ball comes back a lot quicker, and if you hit the ball hard and fast at a weird angle, it'll come back hard and fast at a weird angle. Also, you don't want to hit the wall too many times in one spot because it'll break. So yeah, this game's a tricky one. On to baseball, we have hitting home runs. Very self-explanatory, you hit home runs. It's just baseball really, nothing has changed. Swing control. Similar to timing your swing from tennis, but the target zone switches after a few swings and you have to time your swings accordingly. You always want to hit the ball in the dark blue area. It doesn't matter how hard you hit the ball, as long as it's not a foul. Batting practice. Very creative and original minigame where the pitcher throws the ball and you hit it with the bat. This is probably the most boring minigame in Wii Sports. On to bowling, we have picking up spares. The game provides you with tricky situations regarding the pins, and you have to knock them all over in one try. It's simple, but also challenging, which is nice. Power throws. This one is absolute peak. You just roll the ball hoping to get as many pins as possible, and hopefully you can get a strike, as doing so doubles the amount of pins knocked over to add to your score. I would spend so much time as a kid playing this over and over again, just seeing if I could ever get a strike on every single round. I never really got that close, but it's still fun to try. Also, the sound of all the pins being knocked over is very satisfying. Spin control. Someone left these cinder blocks or whatever on the lanes and now you have to go around them. How do you do that? By doing what you would do in real life if there were cinder blocks on the lanes, you would spin the ball to avoid them. It's pretty easy starting out, but it does get tougher as time goes on. It's not too different from picking up spares, you still have to do a lot of similar spin techniques to avoid the blocks and pick up the spares, but it's still a welcome addition. Up next we have golf. Starting out we have putting, where you putt the golf ball into the hole. Moving on. Hitting the green, where you hit the golf ball onto the green. Moving on. Target practice. Not the target practice that we covered earlier, but in this target practice, you hit a ball to hit a target. Okay, there's a difference. You want to aim for the center of either target. There's a big one far away with 10, 25, 50, and 100 points, or you can go for the smaller one closer to you in the water, which has 25, 50, and 75. You may be thinking, oh, why don't you just go for the big 100 all the time? And naturally that is what you want to do, but you have to remember the wind reader. If there's no wind or if it's moderately calm, yeah, go for the 100, it only makes sense. But if there's a giant hurricane coming your way and you want to take the risk of dying to finish the game, it may be a good idea to go for the smaller target, the one that is much closer to you. This and power throws are probably my favorite training games, especially with this one. There's so much strategy behind it because the wind can really throw you off. It's pretty cool. Final sport, boxing. Starting off, we have working the bag, where you hit punching bags until you break it off the chain. Okay, so there's a lot of strong Nintendo characters, right? Kirby, Link, Pit, Palutena, Samus, Arceus, and more. A lot of these characters could probably punch the bag off the chain. But just think about this, and also serving in tennis. These aren't powerful, godlike Nintendo characters, these are Miis. Miis are virtual avatars, they're just digital humans doing normal human things like playing sports. But if you look at other games that feature Miis, they're doing some pretty strange things. One day I'd like to figure out just how much power Miis really possess, because it's quite intriguing and impressive. Okay, where was I? Oh yeah, we're working the bag. You punch the bag until it falls off, and then another one gets put on the chain. It's repetitive, and with the weird controls, it's not my favorite, but it still works alright. Dodging. Matt here throws these dodgeball things, and you have to shift the Wiimote and nunchuck left and right to avoid them. It's pretty easy in the beginning, but it picks up as time goes on. It's insane how Matt just constantly throws them, and sometimes it feels like he predicts where I'm gonna be. It's crazy. I like this one. It's fast, and it's probably one of the most realistic feeling training games in the collection. Okay, last training game, throwing punches. What do you think you do in this one? You hit the mitts and avoid hitting Matt. Because the boxing controls are weird, it's hard to aim your punches correctly, which results in giving Matt black eyes over and over again. There isn't much here, but it's an alright game. Alright, that's it for training games. I like these a lot, even more so than the normal sports. It's just fun goofing around in these mini games and trying to get high scores. It's awesome. Alright, there's one more mode we gotta look at. Wii Fitness. Wii Fitness is the Wii's first fitness test program. It's kind of like a primitive predecessor to Wii Fit. It bases your human capabilities such as your balance, stamina, and speed all off of 3 training mini games. So what do we got? Dodging. I just played this one. Target practice. Okay, I did pretty good on this one, surprisingly. And batting practice. Cool. Okay, now time for the Wii to calculate every motion I made in these games to see how old I really am compared to how old I really am. Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much Wii Sports. The game is a lot of fun, especially with multiple people, whether you do the normal sports or the training games. I will say, looking at the game critically, I can't imagine spending $50 on Wii Sports like every other Wii game. Cough, cough, Nintendo Switch Sports, cough, cough. It did eventually get re-released under the budget Nintendo Selects line of games, which is the one I have. So if you got the game for free with your console, or if you got it for $20 separately, this game is an absolute steal. Especially when you think about its competitor, Kinect Adventures, which I made a video about that not too long ago. The game and the Kinect sensor cost $150 on top of your $300 Xbox 360. So yeah, Wii Sports. I love this game. I'm pretty sure everyone who was a kid or a teenager around the 7th generation of gaming would also say the same. It is a landmark in gaming history. Wii Sports is a fun video game. Wii Sports is an absolute gem of a game. Just think about it. If you've played Wii Sports, which is like 83 million people on the planet, so one of you is bound to have played it, I want you to remember all of the good memories you've had while playing Wii Sports. Whether you played it with friends or family, for a sleepover or a small party, as soon as you got up, or 3 hours past your bedtime, or if you played it with someone who isn't with you anymore. I'm sure everyone has fond memories relating to the game somehow. Even though the game is nearing 20 years of age, the memories it has given us will last forever. Until next time, stay fresh.